It's LBI Region Report time, and Lori, here we are, our first program of 2025. It's a new year. A lot of new things happen in a new year. So it's very exciting to have you across from me once again.
Yes, and for everybody to see.
Yeah,
so
I know.
for
Yeah,
the first time in, over a decade of recording, we actually have the video component of it. So everybody can join us, grab that cup of coffee, grab whatever, and sit back and enjoy the conversation. So, as you said, happy 2025.
Yes.
A year of a lot of new things happening, a lot of refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about the Chamber's new office and certainly what we're doing here that's a little different. But also, if you haven't listened to the station, that's been a big change, a real great move forward as well.
Yeah. So we started the new year with a new sound for WBNJ, or I should say now, Vinyl 91.9 FM, putting on the radio voice there. And so it was time for a refresh of the station, migrating also with the demographics of our region, and just looking at serving the region better with music that fits we'll say the demographic, specifically. So it was time for a refresh. This is not something that was like an overnight idea. This is actually almost a year in the making to make this switch over. But it's been really exciting. The feedback we've been getting has been phenomenal. It's just, it's one of those things where I find myself even just listening and just being fascinated by like these songs that when I think about these songs, because, I'm getting up there in age too. And as I get closer to the 50, I'm realizing that these songs were my songs.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of Vinyl 91.9 is just going back to all those great hits that were released on vinyl, 60s, 70s, 80s. If you played it on vinyl, we're going to play it on this station. And in many cases, we actually transferred the music from vinyl into our computer system. So you
can hear all those little pops. And
we leave some of those in. Yeah,
that's an over 50 thing, right? When you actually hear the needle, the needle tapping down. So, but it's great, and it's another thing. Much of 2025 is going to be the sort of unveiling of a lot of work that's been done in 2024 to prepare for. Now we're in the next quarter century of the 21st century. So we're really like hitting that jumping off point.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the things that I just want to add about the format change is that one of our new initiatives that is really just a revitalization of an old initiative. And that is to just be a voice for the community more than we ever were before. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're soliciting for listeners who, if they have a nonprofit organization, we want to know about what they're doing. We want to provide them that mouthpiece, that opportunity to get the word out if they're having an event, if they have a cause and they want people to hear it. That's what we're here for. The WBNJ is a nonprofit radio station. So think of public radio. But who said that, public radio had to be boring? So that's why we have Vinyl 91.9. But we are a whole renewed focus on community involvement.
And certainly a renewed focus on the LBI Region Report.
Absolutely. We can see each other.
We can see each other. But, we always did because we were always in the studio.
But nobody else could.
But now it's like a party. But speaking of nonprofits, it's a perfect segue into talking about our guest this morning.
Yes.
And certainly about Southern Ocean Chamber Association and Southern Ocean County Chamber of Commerce, which are the sponsors of this long-running show, award-winning show, because it is the Southern Ocean Chamber's 111th year, and it's now Southern Ocean Chamber Association's 6th year. So, again, a lot of work went into 2024 to make 2025 that next step forward. So a big part of that is our office manager and business development coordinator, Kate Krier, who's going to be joining us to talk all about what she's doing and all about the opportunities that Southern Ocean Chamber has for 2025. So we're going to bring Kate on and have that conversation. How you doing, Kate?
Doing well, thank you.
So Well, we're very happy to have you here. So for those that don't know, Kate does all of our scheduling for the show. So she's a very big part of what's going on at the Chamber of Commerce. Certainly, she's a big part of what everybody sees. She's in our office. She's at all of our events. And coordinating all these different moving parts for the region. So we thought we'd start off the new show, the new format, by talking to Kate a little bit and hearing what she has to say and what's planned for 2025, and certainly what's been ongoing and what continues to be a big part of what the Chamber's doing. So I know, Kate, there's so many opportunities that Southern Ocean Chamber does. Let's talk a little bit about your position and what you see as some of the best things that the Chamber is able to offer to our members and the community.
So what I enjoy doing most with our members is again showcasing and explaining the things that we can do and how we can promote them, especially as part of their membership. It's not, a lot of this isn't even there's no additional charge to have any of this. Definitely utilize everything we can give you. Attend our events. Make sure you are listed correctly in our directory and that's updated and you have your proper socials. But then also use our job ops board for any opportunities you have. If you're hiring, a lot of our businesses are looking for positions all year round or even just seasonal. And really our fanfare programs, I think, are the most popular ones that we've got to showcase any special events or renaming or grand opening that you look to do on anything that you have with your business. We definitely want to be part of that.
So a big part of what we do is connect the community, as Kate said. So we do this through this program. We do this through our social media, through our e-news blast, through just so many different advertising opportunities and campaigns that we run. But a big part of it, too, is some of the networking. We have a big event coming up January 31st. That's our 111th business breakfast, or state of the chamber, so to speak, happening at LBI National Golf, and a full agenda with local and county officials. We're hearing about some of the latest DEP changes from a top engineering firm. We're talking to, of course, our board and the host, our sponsor, LBI National, but so many different ways. One of the most important things, I think, too, is we're going to hear from Southern Ocean Medical Center about all the changes and upgrades they're doing for not just our businesses and our local community, but for the visitors as well. So there's a lot happening on January 31st. And certainly everyone is invited. It's a full breakfast. It's networking. It's a low cost per person to attend. But you can contact Kate at kate@sochamber.com or by calling the office at 609-494-7211, because that's a great way to start the year, network, get something great to eat, tour a great local, recently renovated facility, but also hear from local leadership about what's happening that directly affects us, not only in 2025, but in beyond. So it should be a fun way to start the year.
A great way to make the connections. I mean, a lot of our members that if they don't attend a lot of meetings, this is really the one to come out to. You'll meet a board, you'll meet local other businesses, and again, those officials. It's very important as a business owner to really have those connections.
So the other thing that you mentioned, which is one of the I guess keeps us the most busiest online with our group, is the Southern Ocean Job Ops. So could we talk a little bit about how, if you are someone that's looking for a position, and actually we're currently hiring too. We have a part-time position open. So, why not throw that on Kate threw that on the board, so how can someone that's a job candidate or someone who's potentially a chamber member utilize, I think now we have well over 4,000 profiles. Over 5,000. Wow.
Yes.
So how can they utilize this?
It's so easy. A lot of times what I do is they'll either reach out to me, say, do you know anybody? And I was like, well, I may not know somebody personally, but give me your job listing. We'll submit it. We have this Southern Ocean Job Ops Board, which is a Facebook group. Anybody can join it. Only our members can post their opportunities. And we have seen the growth. That page is organic. So it's as it's grown naturally. And the posts, I can see the traffic on the post. It's incredible to see how people respond. And we can put up, a lot of times they're seasonal part-time, maybe 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 16 and up, or, professional full-time gigs, if you want to be accounting, if you're looking to clerk, if you want to be, you're looking for attorney, to work in an attorney's firm. I mean, there's everything that this area represents there's a posting for it. The hospitals, lots of postings there. In fact, I just put up some accounting information. So, it's always being refreshed. And there's so much there. I highly recommend it to all our members.
And I mean, not just, as to Kate's point, not just seasonal, but full-time, part-time, career paths
Yes.
have been started through this board. So we certainly recommend you do that. But we also have something coming up in February. I believe it's the 27th at the mainland, which is our job fair, our Southern Ocean Job Fair, which we're really excited about. Bringing together again that permanent workforce. Certainly those that are looking to start their career, re-enter, maybe if they took some years off or if they've recently relocated and thought that, oh, okay, I'm going to come down here and maybe find something, keep me busy, get me connected.
Connected in the community, exactly.
Give me a little bit more reach. So that's happening, and we're really excited about that as well.
There's going to be a great response. I've had a lot of businesses reach out. I've already gotten submissions for it. If your business is interested in having a table, definitely reach out to me. You can see the details on our website, which is Visit LBI Region. It's pinned right to the top. But again, always reach out to the chamber. I'm delighted to help in any way.
And the other thing that's so important too is that we've working with the Department of Labor. We're working with so many other larger factions to bring the best quality of resources to our area, to our community. And as this is our 111th year, this is something that we consider a little bit more of a tradition of continuing to move things forward, because it's just too much going on, that if somebody needs to sort of keep the pace. And as definitely the chamber office, and Kate, you do a fantastic job with that.
Oh, so thank you.
We thank you. We thank you. Certainly on behalf of the board and everyone else. So we did mention, I mentioned at the start of the show about our new office, which is at 703 Mill Creek Road. We're Suite G in Manahawkin. It's a great location. It's right on the crossroads of business, 72, close to 9. I mean, it's just right there. It's a great office, great space. We do have people coming and going through it, especially since we're in an executive suite area. So if you are a business, if you're a member and you'd like to drop off collateral, that's something certainly that, Kate, if you want to talk a little bit about the hours and if people wanted to reach out to you to do that.
Definitely. We have visitors. People are stopping in, picking information up. I know a lot of things have gone digital, and I'm happy to share that with folks who stop in, and it's either other businesses looking for information. We have a lot of walk-ins, people just wanting to know what's going on in the area. So if you have any paperwork, business cards, or even something I can refer folks who are interested in your business, anything I can refer to them for them to research you, please get it to me. We can coordinate hours. I'm usually in the office between 10 and 4. But if there's special accommodations or we need to meet earlier or later, I'm again more than happy to do so. So just shoot me an email, kate@sochamber.com, call the office, and we'll schedule it. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. That's what we do. We make it happen.
That's the best part of it, right? It's always good. So the next thing, and you touched a little bit about the ribbon cutting and the fanfare. This is a program we started several years ago. I think it might have been like our 110th, or not 110th, 105th. We launched a bunch of new programs, and fanfare is one of the favorites. That is sort of your ribbon cutting, if you want to acknowledge maybe a partnership or a promotion, or if you want to do an after hours, if you've expanded, you have a new location. Fanfare is the program that the chamber really helps you get that message out. We go down, we bring open call to membership and the professional community to come and join us, and you host a very light event. And we just try to bring you as much attention as positively possible. And
Yes.
that's something that could be scheduled through visit lbiregion.com, or again by calling the office 609-494-7211. And it's open to our members. And certainly if you're a nonprofit and you want to reach out to us, there's so many other things we do. We're working on scheduling our winter nonprofit forum now, which will probably be in February. We have a lot of help and resources, especially when it comes to announcing grants and announcing different opportunities on how to get maybe sponsorships or how to have advocacy for your group. So being on our website, being on our email list is something that certainly benefits, whether you're a staff nonprofit, volunteer, a business that has many employees, or just a micro business with one or two. We're here to really kind of help you get acclimated. Doing business in our area is not typical. People come from other areas that are all year round, 12-month. They're used to business traffic. They're used to mass transit. They're used to maybe some bigger institutions. We have a lot going for us, but it's in our own unique way. And I think having access to an organization that's been here for well over 100 years, providing that service is something that is, not only a benefit, but certainly, our chamber, speaking on behalf of us, is a privilege to be able to do and continue to do.
I agree 100%. And like you'd said, any business that really needs to promote or share any change or updates they've done, please reach out. It's one of my favorite events to do. I show up with my big scissors. We videotape you, record you, share it out on our socials. It gets a ton of traffic. People love to see new businesses or new things happening in the area. And that type of popularity and response is that's, I don't want to say it's lightning in a bottle, but it's really great to catch it and share it out with people in the community and residents and potential customers of yours. We want to help you. Let us help you.
Yeah. And certainly we try to connect everybody with their, local officials, with the county officials.
Absolutely.
To kind of, make that go even a little bit farther. But one other program I want to talk about before we jump off is the Women in Business. That's something that, as you know, has just grown and has really meant so much to the character of our community. I think we've been doing this now, it's probably approaching 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's been a big part of it. So did you want to speak a little bit? I know we have something coming up this month as well, but maybe talk about what that means when we have that networking roundtable.
I don't want to say it's unique, but it's very different. And the response to it is every month when we host, is phenomenal. And I see we have our regulars, and then every time there's always somebody new or a new member, and to get them in and introduce them and have that networking opportunity. I've seen a lot of businesses connect in ways where it's like a retail and like a financial institution. They have questions, they meet somebody, or they wish to be connected later. They always go, oh, I met that person. Who is this? And I'm always happy to loop people in and continue that connection so they can do what they need to do on their end. And it's an immensely popular program. And I think when I came on board with the chamber, it had just started.
Yeah.
So to be a part of it and watch it grow is phenomenal. And it's very, the neat thing about it is it's not in the same place, or whoever wants to host it. So we float them around so people get introduced to businesses they may not have normally seen or been part of. I can't tell you how many, and you've been there as well, Lori, like how many people walk in and be like, I never knew this place was here.
Right.
Or I didn't know they offered these services. And now it's like, now they've told you, and now people continue to share that message. And that's, priceless. That's great.
And it's that first, and it's the firsthand accountability. Somebody experiences it, gets to hear from, whether it's the woman-owned, leadership or a guest speaker, gets to learn more about, what that is, sort of doing to the community and beyond. So it's just a great way to circle everybody back and keep everybody together. And it has grown. The chamber, over the course of, a century plus, has, there's programs that have started and have ran its course and have stopped or has been reevaluated. With 2025, certainly this is a year that we've been looking at, well, what's going to take, what's going to make it. And women in business is always one that's on that table of, that's a popular one that we're just so happy to continue presenting. And for
Absolutely.
members, it's at, it's really at no cost. And it's just an easy way to connect. It's a lighthearted, it's earlier in the morning. It doesn't last more than 2 hours. And it's enough time to get everybody to experience what that business or what that business person has to offer. So it's a good way. It's a good way to connect.
Exactly.
And certainly January 28th, I believe, is our next one. And it's a good way to start the year.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. So I've had a great response. So we'll see how we can fill that room for them.
Yeah, I think so. So anything else, Kate, that you want to throw in there before we sign off for our first broadcast, podcast, and video cast?
Love
of the
it.
year.
Love it. Making history.
It's the trifecta. It's the trifecta of fun, right, Billy?
Absolutely. We should trademark that.
Indeed.
Trifecta of fun. That's
Trifecta of fun. Yeah, at least we think so. This trifecta thinks so, but we'll see what everybody else has to say.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Absolutely. I think if there's anybody who's listening who is not a member, I would be delighted to speak with you as to some of the benefits of being a chamber member and what that means for you and what we can do. So absolutely reach out to me, Kate@sochamber.com. You can jump on the website, message me through Facebook. We have tons of social media pages. You can outreach that way. And we just want to help and continue sharing that information and using our programs to help our businesses grow.
And the other thing too is to talk about the different channels, because we are on a Southern Ocean Chamber. We also are on as LBI Region. So, and we have several community groups, like we mentioned, Southern Ocean Job Ops, the largest one. So there's different ways to find us, but the message is all circling back to the website. Visit lbiregion.com. That's open 24/7. We do have our coastal newsroom, which has all sorts of information. And this is a good one to share, because I meant to share this one on the opening of it, is that minimum wage did go up. So we want to make sure that all of the businesses and plus all of the residents realize that there is an increase to $15.49 an hour that went into effect January 1st. And that's based on the Consumer Price Index, and it aligns wages with the rising cost of living. But the wage increase certainly has a notable impact, in Southern Ocean County. But being that some of our owners are small business owners or seasonal business owners, the minimum hourly wage increases to $14.53. So that was up from $13.73 in 2024. So the chamber was an advocate in that carve out for when the time came, when we're going back now, 2017, 2018, we were, really lobbying to try to make sure that the small business and the seasonal business doesn't get put into that same basket with some of the larger businesses. And we were successful in that. But more information, even information on if you have tip staff or agricultural staff, or if you want to see the printouts or the actual press releases or the actual legislation, you can go to visit lbiregion.com and you could go to our press room. It'll say Coastal Community Newsroom, and you can find the article with all the details and all the links about minimum wage, because we certainly want to keep everyone well aware of what's going on and, kind of how we got there. It's nothing happens overnight, it's been a long road, but it's all in there. So certainly go to visit lbiregion.com if you want to find out more about that minimum wage increase, how it affects seasonal and small businesses, how it affects tip staff, and of course, anybody else that wants to have a little bit more history about it. So all good, right?
All good. All the best.
So thank you, Kate, for joining us.
Well,
we
thank
really
you.
do appreciate it. And we
fun,
thank
the inaugural.
The inaugural. There
Yes,
we go.
The inaugural video podcast.
Yes.
Podcast, broadcast. So you can find us in every way. But certainly we're looking forward to all the events happening in January. Really looking forward to the job fair and everything else that's going to come as the rest of the winter unfolds. So thanks, Kate, for all you do. And we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bye.
Fantastic having Kate on as our first guest. Right?
Absolutely.
So I also want to say before we sign off, is that we do have our 111th Board of Directors, and I wanted to congratulate, of course, the Regional Chamber of Commerce. It continues the tradition of local leadership with a group of dedicated business professionals. So since we were founded in 1914, it has been a nonstop, continual service, and we want to have a special welcome to the Chamber as it introduces the newest board members, Mr. Kenny Formica. He's the owner-manager of Surf City Marina. Mr. Jamie Goshorn, sales representative of Barlow Buick GMC. Mr. Sean Zakar, executive director of workforce and professional education at Ocean County College. The Chamber is very excited to have these talented individuals to join the board, and we really look forward to those fresh perspectives to help us, increase the contributions to our community. So the returning officers, which will serve on the 2025 Executive Committee, includes President Jerry Thompson of the Van Dyke Group, First Vice President Elizabeth Giglio of Barlow Buick GMC Auto Group, Second Vice President Carol Holmes of Health Village Imaging, our Treasurer Michelle Koff. She represents the Southern Ocean Chamber Association, and the Board Secretary, yours truly, Lori Pepenella, also representing SOCA. So the 2025 directors really bring together just resources and experiences, and we want to welcome back to our board Laura Benson, Esquire, Michelle Collins Davies, Marie Daly, Tonic Hood, Michelle Morrison, Danielle Rosello, Christine Ping, and Tonic Hood of Reynolds Landscaping. So there's quite a few wonderful business advocates on our board, and all that information is on visit lbiregion.com and that press page.
All right. Make sure you look for our show now, not only as a podcast, wherever you find podcasts, but look for us on all the video platforms as well, from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. You will find clips of our program on all of those platforms.